The Speaker for the Assembly, State of California.
Good evening. I got to tell you, it's great to see you all. And it is so wonderful to have the convention back in LA. And it's important to me that we had the convention here in my district. For those of you who were at the 2000 National Convention, you know the difference between how we've turned this community around from what it was like in 2000, and the only thing in downtown LA we're coming to see is the Staples Center, and now we've really created an opportunity for tremendous economic growth. And I think it really foreshadows something that we've all got to be concerned with statewide, and that's dealing with this historic economic crisis. And when you look at the reality that 12.5% of our population is unemployed in parts of the Central Valley, as much as 40% of the population is unemployed, you know that we're in an incredible crisis. And so our number one priority this year has got to be doing job creation. Now that's important to us in the LGBT community for a couple of reasons. One, we're faced with the same challenges of economic crisis as everybody else. And two, what we know historically is that the expansion of civil rights has always come during periods of economic growth. And in periods of economic decline is when we traditionally see increases in intergroup tension, increases in reactionary politics. And we see that play out in particular when we look at some of the anti-immigrant rhetoric that the Poisoner campaign is foisting upon the voters right now. But we know that if it's targeted immigrants, it's also very easy to scapegoat our community. And so we have to be very mindful that it is in our interest to focus significantly on the need to turn the economy around and create jobs for everybody in the state of California. I take over the speakership at a very difficult time for the state, and I'm mindful of the fact that I carry a special responsibility being the first openly gay speaker elected, not just here, but really seriously for what it means in terms of running the institution of the Assembly, and what it means in terms of the role that I have in helping us lead the state of California in the right direction. But I also take it seriously in terms of the special responsibility I have to our community in making sure that I particularly fight to make sure that we're treated right and that the state is responsible for our needs as well. And so that informs my work every day, as the other challenges of representing my constituents informs that work. And so we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We've got to work on turning around the economy. We've got to work on making sure that we have a humane and rational approach to the budget. That we fight against this notion that the state should be run by the minority. We're one of only a couple of states, one of 3 states in the country, where you require a supermajority to pass a budget. And so one of my priorities is to take us back to simple majority rule. And we're lucky to have John Laird here with us. Nobody understands budgeting better than John Laird. And when you have the challenges that we have right now, you need the leadership of somebody like him, and that's why hopefully we're all going to get engaged in helping him get elected to the Senate if there's a discussion. As Speaker, it's not my job to worry about the Senate, but as somebody who's concerned about the future of California, I've got to tell you that we need his leadership to fight for a budget that is rational and that is humane. Last year, we saw the governor propose things that were so counterproductive. Things like walking away from in-home supportive services, knowing that for every dollar we saved there, we drove up the cost of the state $7 by forcing people into nursing homes. Things like walking away from dialysis care, understanding that the savings would come not just from not providing dialysis to people with long-term kidney failure, but you get savings because people die. And their death would keep you from having to provide your services. That also informed the way the governor approached the AIDS Drug Assistance Program. The savings he looked for were savings not just from reducing the benefit, but by realizing that people would die if they didn't have access to their meds. That is what we're up against. We are up against people whose approach is so heartless that they're willing to make counterproductive financial arguments to move an ideological position forward. That's why we can't let them have this supermajority requirement to pass a budget. So that's going to be a key part of what we fight for, hopefully collectively this year. And the last is really making sure that we use this as a year of reform, taking advantage of the crisis that we're in to make us reevaluate the way we make systems work better for everybody in the state of California. But this has been a great year too. What President Obama did yesterday in announcing this mandate around access to the hospitals is huge. I was so proud to stand with him a couple of months ago when he signed the hate crimes law in Washington, D.C., the Matthew Shepard, James Byrd hate crimes law. A long time in the coming. And to stand there with Matthew Shepard's parents and James Byrd's sisters, and with the detective who did all the follow-up work after Matthew Shepard died, and to see this president actually put into practice a real change in hate crimes legislation was monumental. But we have a lot of other challenges we have to focus on. You know, we had a setback at the end of this year on the marriage front in Maine. The people of Maine experienced the same setback we did, where they saw voters take away the rights that had been deferred to them to have marriage equality. And we've also had moments of opportunity and optimism when you look at the federal case and the possibility we have for the federal courts to reinstate the rights to marriage that those 18,000 people were able to enjoy, but the rest of us still don't have. And we have now the challenge for us to be introspective about how we engage in broad-based coalition politics, how we get engaged with other people in a progressive movement and help move a variety of different fronts forward at once. So if we come back and have to fight at the ballot box again, we grow our base instead of shrinking our base. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for your activism. And more importantly, I want to thank you for your commitment to making sure that we make this a year of growth and a year of great success for all of our democratic values. So thank you very much.